GP practices in Tower Hamlets have fallen under threat by a government move to redistribute funding across the country. Practices in the most deprived areas of Tower Hamlets are not getting the funding they need. Some, like Jubilee Street Practice and Limehouse Practice, even face closure. Last week, on November 26th, the Save Our Surgeries campaign held a protest meeting.
What drove the whole campaign at the beginning was the removal of a funding element which basically historically acknowledged deprivation in practices. I could go into detail, I could tell you where it comes from, why it's not just deprivation, but as a general rule we can take it that this funding stream paid for deprivation.
My GP surgery was at serious risk of closure because of the removal of a deprivation payment called MPIG, Minimum Practice Income Guarantee. Basically, it's a payment that was put in place in 2004 to recognise the greater disease burden of more deprived populations. This was removed in 2014, and in my practice it amounted to a sum of approximately £220,000. And the government deemed this to be a fair move, but I guess what we're fighting is we can't really understand why it's fair to pay all practices the same amount of money. So my practice has lost 20% of its income to prop up other practices who are seeing patients up to 50% less than we are in Tower Hamlets.
Some surgeries, some really, really good surgeries, are threatened with closure because they're losing up to £1 million over 7 years. I'm really passionate that we have to save general practice and we have to save the NHS, and Save Our Surgeries has to be part of the wider fight to save the NHS free at the point of delivery, and that we don't go back to how it was before the Second World War, when people had to choose, make very hard decisions about whether to see their doctor or whether to feed their children.